Now it's time for Mailbag. You know, we get lots of interesting mail in this program, and each week this season I read bits of some of your letters on the air. If your letter's read, we'll send you a book from Random House. The book this week is Dr. Crook's The Yeast Connection in the soft cover for two reasons. It's updated and it's cheaper. Okay. Tonight's Mailbag letters are about our program last week on Ontario's nuclear energy policies. First letter is from Ms. L.W., a reporter for The Standard in Elliott Lake, which is the uranium capital of Ontario, I guess. As you probably know, she writes, the jobs of 4,000 uranium mine workers were at stake while the Select Committee on Energy debated the fate of Darlington nuclear generator. She writes that Elliott Lake is striving to diversify its economy so that it won't stay so totally dependent on the uranium business. But she goes on to say, I don't think that the people of Elliott Lake are devoted to nuclear power. They are too close to the mortality from radiation statistics. But they are devoted to making a good livelihood for their families. And any decisions to reverse the direction of Ontario's energy future must take that into consideration. Next, from GH in Georgetown, Mr. Rubin from Energy Probe has to realize that there is no such thing as a large-scale energy conversion, vital to any industrialized nation, that is 100% safe. Compared to all fossil fuel generators, nuclear generators are by far the safest. GH mentions that all of us are exposed to radiation from natural backgrounds, medical examination, and so on, and concludes the question of going nuclear or not is purely political, not technical. Mr. RDC in Monkland writes, as one of your guests pooh-poohed the threat of a nuclear accident by explaining the safety measures of our reactors and the training of the personnel involved, I couldn't help but think of this past summer when a superbly trained Royal Canadian Mounted policeman who, while guarding the United States Embassy in Ottawa, accidentally shot himself with his automatic weapon. This weapon was made in West Germany and is recognized by security forces throughout the world as the best of its type. The odds against that happening must be millions to one. Mr. RDC in Monkland goes on to say, Murphy's Law states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And if it does go wrong at a nuclear plant, hundreds or thousands may suffer. A brief comment from Mr. CM in Toronto. It's clear that from the consideration of safety and profit, nuclear power stations should be abandoned and research money spent on alternative sources of energy. We must have a referendum on this life or death matter, or we cannot claim to be a democracy, Mr. CM says. And our last letter is from Mr. MF in Waterloo. The Honourable Mr. Carriot, Provincial Energy Minister, seems to be open-minded and concerned about energy and the environment, but must be reminded that there are many programs that are suffering now from the overspending in the nuclear industry. Social, health, educational, medical, and of course, grants to the alternate energies. Our modern society seems to be racing along a path that leads us far from harmony with nature, and it's a dangerous path for this and future generations. If we do not learn from 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl, then we are in serious trouble. And that's our mailbag for this week. Please write to us. Your letters are a big help. We do appreciate knowing what you think. We have transcripts available for all of our Speaking Of programs. If you'd like a copy, we'd appreciate it if you'd send us $3 a throw. It helps with the costs. And in connection with tonight's program, we have a free resource sheet with a list of book titles and organizations that you might like to communicate with in connection with yeast and its ramifications. Our address is Speaking Out, TV Ontario, Box 200, Station Q, Toronto, M4T2T1. You can call us during business hours. Area code 416, the number is 484-2600, and our new number is 484-2666. Again, thank you to Dr. Crook and Dr. Dean for being with us tonight. Next week, we move from Candida to capitalism as we debate the morality of capitalism, profit versus social responsibilities. My guests will be Bob Rae, leader of Ontario's New Democratic Party, and Michael Walker of Vancouver's Fraser Institute. Join us then. Good night.